Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You like that? You like that shit?
That intro was lit.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Anubis. Thank you. I appreciate that. But see, not the intro was awesome. It was awesome. But while the intro was playing, y'all didn't see the true awesomeness, and that was Jeff popping and locking during the whole intro. You guys didn't see that shit, man. Oh, what?
I was feeling it, dude. I was like, let's do this.
I was getting ready to do the whole like bloodbath.
Oh, Jeff got rhythm. That's right. Everybody got rhythm on the Versus crew. What is going on? All you beautiful horror movie loving badasses. That's right. We're going to be talking about some of the ghouls, some of the vamps, but mostly the witchcraft. That's right. La, 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 la. Witch. That's right. We're going to be talking about some stuff. And two icons. That's right. Two Itai icons, Mario Bava and Dario Argento. That's right. And both of these movies, both of these directors were in their prime. So this is going to be a fun discussion. But let's see who is here in the house. Who do we got up in here? Roll call. We got Lady Danish in the house. What is going on? That's right. Good to see you. That's right. We got Jake Hall. That's right. Jake Hall in the house. That's right. Movie Dojo channel member, son. That's right. We got Lance in the house. Daryl Johnston. How you doing? DJ Anubis is here as well. That's right. That's right.
I am here.
Yes, Heather, what's going on? That's right. Clicking on the channel members. There you go. Bam. There you go. She's saying hello to our new guest there, and we'll get to him in a second. Here. And the sexy sumo, the sumo that is the sexiest. What's going on, man? It's good to see you. So, great panel today of guests as usual here on Versus. But quick shout out to the badasses that were not able to be here today, and they're suffering. They're bummed. Lindsay was like, "Fuck." Lindsay was like, "God damn it!" But she forgot, scheduling wise, she had to handle something today. So Lindsay couldn't be here, but subscribe to her channel. Lindsay Washburn is phenomenal. And hey, let me click on the photos here. Let me go up a little bit to the top. Another shout out who was also bummed he couldn't be here. Filmmaker director Scott B. Hansen. That's right. He was bummed that he couldn't make it today as well, but we'll get him on the show for sure in the future. We'll definitely get him here. And shout out to Darren Gear. That's right. He could not be here as well. We got to give the shout outs to the members. That's right. The Retaliator son. That's right. The Gear brothers, Jeff and Darren. That's right. Make sure you guys see the Retaliators. Jeff, welcome to the show, man. Welcome back.
Great to be here again, man. Excited. Very excited.
Yeah. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Well, what about Joel's shout out? Well, Joel is here in spirit. I have a little video to play a little bit later, but yeah, we love Joel. He still was bummed that he couldn't make it today, but he's here with us in spirit. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and start it here. Guest roll call. Jeff, we already said what's going on to the other Gear brother. That'd be Badasseth, and we have what metal and horror, baby. That's right,
That
DJ.
looks familiar.
I know. DJ Anubis is back on the channel. That's right. And the first time on Versus, that's right. The second half of Retro Serial. Shout out to Ian. That's right. Out there making people laugh, son. That's right. Doing the stand-up comedy. A lot of people said for years that I would be good at stand-up comedy. No.
I don't know, man. Have you seen your first video you ever put up? That was pretty comic.
Oh no! I need to private that. I need to private that. No, it's all good. But yes, Thrash Pondo Ponds. That's right. Make sure you check out his channel and subscribe. Everybody here, all their information is in the description box below. So make sure you guys follow and subscribe. Thrash has a love, just like all of us here. He's a movie loving badass. He has a love for films, action, horror, all that good stuff. So I had to get him on here. That's right. And maybe in the future, we'll get you back on here some more Versus. But welcome to the show, my friend.
It is an absolute pleasure. I'm glad I finally was able to make it. And there will be a next time, I promise you.
Nice. I was like, man, should I call him Bob or Thrash? But I'm like, Anubis, Thrash.
Thrash.
Yeah, it's a lot badass, a lot more cooler. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and have some fun talking about both of these classic films, and we're gonna have a good time. So I'm gonna kick it off here. Don't forget, guys, spoilers. I mean, a lot of the spoilers was already in the intro, so these movies have been out for a long time, so there's gonna be spoilers.
If you understand by now, it's your fault.
Yeah. Yes, but for those who have not seen Black Sunday, here is the quick plot synopsis, so you at least have an idea what the movie's about. So, Black Sunday, 1960. We're going back to the old school. That's right. It's about a vengeful witch and her fiendish servant return from the grave and begin a bloody campaign to possess the body of the witch's beautiful look-alike descendant. That's right, directed by Mario Bava, starring the amazing Barbara Steele. Yes. So I seen this like 5 billion years ago. It's been a long time. But I was just like, you know what? And I remember enjoying it. I remember enjoying it for the most part. But for this versus, I had to rewatch it. So it'd be interesting to. I was curious. Like, am I gonna hate this now? Like, because you never know.
Right.
You never know when you revisit a film after so many years have passed. You know, sometimes you may love it more. You might be still the same with it, or you may hate it. You know, you never know. But this is just still really great stuff here, man. Like this is just the perfect example of the macabre, just the gothicness of it. I mean, there's shots in this movie that you're just like, where? I don't see this now. Like, it's just like Bava. It was in terms of cinematography and the way he made things look. It's just so fantastic in Black Sunday. But the real star, of course, is Barbara Steele. Kills it. She kills it, owning 2 different roles. That's right, playing 2 different roles. The evilishly fun, not evilishly funny to me sometimes, but just she's so just revels in her evilness character, and then the complete opposite is just somebody that faints a lot. You know what I mean?
A lot of thinking.
Like, what was it? 5 times? I think she fainted. But you know, that's the point. She's playing the polar opposite. Plus, it's the 60s. That happens a lot back then. They got to faint. Plus, I'm sure if we saw, you know, a corpse coming back to life, if somebody we knew, you never know, we might fucking faint. You never know how we'd handled that, right? But yeah, she's great. I think, what did I say last week, Anubis, when we were doing Sleepaway Camp? I said, the lead actress from Sleepaway Camp, Felicia Rose, like you're gonna lose the staring game.
Yeah,
with Felicia Rose, right? Well, hey, in this movie, oh, you're gonna lose the staring game going up against Barbara. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win.
A rough gaze. Yeah,
I think my favorite part of the film was the beginning. Believe it or not, I enjoyed a lot of the movie along the way. Oh, hold on. Woo, shut up. Let me mute my phone there. Sorry. But I just the beginning was just the way it looks. Look at this shit, guys. This is some fucking dark for the greater good, you know, demonic stuff we got. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is so good. Mm-hmm. And you know, hey, her and her man, hey, there's a little bit of vampirism. They're all over the place in this movie, you know, but mostly they, you know, got burned. Well, they were trying to burn her, but the rain stopped it. But for the witchcraft, basically. But look at that shot. I mean, such good stuff. And then they put on which they call the Mask of Satan. Yeah. And I love, this is like one of my favorite shots of the film right here. Just crush. This is the 60s, you guys.
I know.
This is the 60s.
You see the blood spurts.
Yeah. I mean, this is the 60s. This is like insane.
That was so horrifying when I saw it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's just, like, wow, what an opening for sure. But she's like, you know what? Hey, you guys are gonna rue the day. Just wait, give it time. I'm gonna curse all you motherfuckers. And then our movie starts from there. But I don't want to talk too much because we got a whole bunch of badasses here. Give them a chance to talk about what they like and they didn't like of the film. But I'll pop in once in a while. But just unbelievable shots like this. Look at this shot right here. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Look at this shit. Is this a painting? I mean, this is insane. And there's just so many iconic shots in here, especially when Barbara Steele shows up. I mean, look at this. She's a straight G, right? You know,
with the dogs.
I mean, she's a straight gangster right here, man. I mean, look at this. I've seen people with T-shirts of her, you know, with her picture on T-shirts, like because it's just so iconic. And my last thing before we move on, this shot is one of my favorite shots in the movie, and it makes me laugh when they're investigating the tomb and he's looking around and he looks down and all he sees is this. I think that would freak anybody out, like that staring at you the whole time and you didn't even know that was there. Oh, and I call bullshit too, by the way, when she was like seducing the doctor. I call bullshit, you know. She's like, you know, come kiss me, you know. And the only reason I'm calling bullshit is because the doctor was just like, you know, well, no one's gonna turn down a kiss from Barbara Steele, you know. Like I wasn't in control of myself. It was the witchcraft, you know. Yeah, it's like, oh well, I guess I have to do it, you know.
Yeah, that's like echoes of The Shining, you know, Jack Nicholson kissing that, you know, ugly woman, you know, corpse or whatever. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, just a fun time. I love the atmosphere of it, and the performances are fun. But Barbara's the real show, and I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the music. There's a lot to like about it. But enough of my yakking. I can't think of top of my head something I didn't like about it, but that might pop in a little bit later. But Jeff, what do you think about Black Sunday? Be honest.
Yeah, well, you know, this was my first go through with this movie. Actually, with both movies, which I really loved. I love going in like haven't seen these movies. Even better if I've never heard of them. So then that was the case for both of these. So that being said, I went into Black Sunday, and yeah, that opening scene was so captivating. I couldn't. I was like, wait, what year is this? You know what I mean? And just the set piece was amazing, and then that mallet smashing into the mask and all the blood spurting. I was like, damn, this is fucking, you know, this is heavy metal, man.
I know. Yeah, spikes, iron.
So it set
what he's talking about. Yeah.
yeah. So it set the tone really, really nicely. Like, and yeah, I mean, I didn't know who Barbara Steele was either. And by the end of the film, I was like looking her up, going like, damn, I'm like in love with Barbara Steele now. You know what I mean? It was like, I need a poster. I need, you know,
nice.
No, she was just awesome. And, you know, I loved all the characters, really. I mean, all the main ones, you know, the two doctors were hilarious. I loved how different they were. I loved the, you know, and they, of course, they have that old like acting kind of cadence too, like almost like theater, like, hello, I am here, blah blah blah, you know. I thought it was really quotable too. Thought a lot of the dialogue was kind of poetic, actually, which I really appreciated. They're like they were usually in the mouth of the main the older doctor. I can't remember his. They all have like really bizarre names. I think they're supposed to be Romanian or something. Is that right? Yeah. But the older doctor, he had so many classic one-liners, like when the younger doctor's going to bed. No, he's like, I should go out and see the princess, and he's like, well, you'd be wiser to go to sleep. Mysterious princesses are more easily conquered in dreams. Like, you know, you're just like, what the fuck? That's a great line, you know. So there, I really love that. kept me captivated all the way through. There was also a really cool effect towards the end as well, like with I think the head in the fire. That was really cool. I really liked that. I think overall, I really, really enjoyed it. It was a great film. In terms of bad things about it, I mean, I feel almost like nitpicky. You know what I mean? I think one thing that I really appreciated about it was it just kind of felt, there was something that felt kind of cozy about it. And I don't know if that's because of how old it was, but still maintaining that kind of gothic, that horror element as well. It felt like a movie I would watch, being sick at home or something like that. You know what I mean? And just trying to feel better and like, but still getting the flavor of the horror.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I definitely agree with you, Barbara Steele. She kind of stole my heart on this one. So, I don't want to say anything bad.
Nice. All right. Thrash. Thoughts on Black Sunday?
Well, I'm going to have to sound like a broken record on a couple of things here because I can't stress enough how right you guys have been so far. That opening sequence is possibly the best part of the whole movie with the Inquisitioners and the torture and her cursing them. And yes, Barbara Steele is absolutely breathtaking, but yet and at the same time can be very foreboding and scary. She's almost like a succubus where she's beautiful and she pulls you in, but that you really shouldn't be pulled in. She makes a couple of expressions, and she's not even wearing a mask, but is actually scarier than the death mask they have her wearing at one point. And it's very difficult for a very young woman. She was very young when she took this part. For a very young woman to pull that off. So you can't minimize her influence. Moving forward, I too love the two doctors, and I believe they were Russians. If I remember correctly, it's based on a Russian short story.
Okay.
And but I love the fact, and we've seen it many times since, you have the two men of science who are stuck in the story of the occult, and that's really, really grounding. You have two doctors, two professionals who get caught up in this world of witchcraft and sorcery. So even men of science can get pulled into this seedy underworld. And I think that's great because they're actually two very different characters. The young doctor is pulled in because he falls in love with Barbara Steele. The older one is just too busy scoffing to realize how much trouble he's in. and of course, the two of them both have their own little clash with the macabre. I love the atmosphere. I mean, the imagery is just outstanding. I love the little things they do to kind of get you to like jump in your seat. The scorpions. I'm glad you reminded me of that because when I first saw that, I'm like, that for the cameraman, that must have been horrifying. He's like, how am I going to clean up all these scorpions afterwards? Because as you know, the little ones are the most poisonous. I love the fact, like little things like when the father sends the manservant or the brother sends the manservant to get the doctor and the manservant leaves. And when he gets there, it's actually her reconstituted manservant. And you're like, oh dear, they're in trouble. And little things like that just, even though they set up the plot in the first 2 minutes of the film, they keep you guessing throughout. It's really tough to do that. You have to really put some effort into a script to keep it fresh, even though you know where it's all going to end up. If I have a criticism, and it's not a huge one, but if I have any criticism at all, it's the fact that a certain amount of this film is, I don't want to say predictable, but you know where it's going. Like, okay, they're playing hooky from the seminar, the convention, that's great, but oh, how convenient that their stagecoach breaks down at just this point. The doctor's looking through the glass, and he sees the body, and he goes, I probably shouldn't break that glass. That could be a problem. And then the bat comes out at that point, and what does he do? He shoots through the glass. I'm like, are you kidding me? And he even manages to cut his finger on the glass. And it's like, it's I don't want to say contrived, but they kind of go out of their way to make everything just sort of come together. And,
a little too easy. Yeah.
Yes. Very, very convenient. A lot of things are very convenient. But I got to tell you, it's one of the most influential horror movies, period. It influenced the Mexican Brainiac, Black Sabbath with Boris Karloff, Ghost Story set in New England. It's a very influential film. And on the whole, it's one of my all-time favorites.
Nice. I don't know why I got a Three Stooges vibe when the older doctor just randomly pulled out a gun. The whole time he's just fighting the bat, and then out of nowhere he just pulls the guns out like Three Stooges style, just out of nowhere shoots it. I was rolling at that. Nubis.
So basically, what Thrash is saying is that the doctor heard a voice, and that voice was Hans Gruber saying, "Shoot the glass." You guys covered a lot of ground that I talked about with this film. I was kind of surprised though that this was Baba's first directorial debut. So
Insane.
Being his first film, that's really quite amazing. The visuals are awesome. The set pieces. You were showing the clip of the hoods. That kind of just so isolating atmosphere that it creates. It's so awesome. Again, Barbara Steele, can't much more to say on that. She's just hypnotizing and mesmerizing to look at. The effects for the time were really good. Like you show all the face stuff, the bad acne she had going on that the doctor couldn't resist. But that was really creepy crap. Like that's something that is really surprising to me for 1960. So, and of course the mask of Satan getting impaled in her face and the blood squirting out, like that stuff's just amazing. I was actually quite surprised that, just because it's Rotten Tomatoes, but the critics gave this like an 86% and the audience is like 77. So I found that to be pretty impressive. Yeah, for a 1960 film. As far as like negatives, like Jeff and Thrash, it's really just kind of nitpicking, but it's more about personal taste. And it's just like, I'm not generally a fan of black and white horror films. I never really have been. I don't know what the reason is. Maybe just because my age. I don't know, just whatever it is. Like, I don't often find myself being very scared by black and white films. But this does have like a nice gothic creepiness about it. And it's certainly worth all the praise that it gets, especially when it stands out among some of the other ones around the same time period.
Yeah, very well said. But yeah, thanks for bringing up the practical effects. Makeup is really good. But yeah, there were really cool visual moments that I forgot to mention. So Anubis, props for him to bringing it up. But like the one where it's just the corpse, and you see the corpse filling up, from the inside, and then like almost trying to create eyeballs a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool, man. Or when she touches her descendant, she like transfers her energy to her, and so her wrinkles start going away, and then the descendant starts getting older. That was pretty cool. The young doctor was like, "Oh, she's." I was like, "Come on, man!" The young doctor at the end was like, she's old and ragged and fucked up now. God damn it! I'm like, come on, man, that's kind of fucked up.
Kick it to the curb.
Yep.
Well, you know me. Nitpicky wise, you know me. I want more violence or more action and stuff like that. But that's just me being nitpicky. But I think it had a lot. The scrap at the end was interesting because it was filmed in a way where you could barely see it with her servant versus the love interest. But it kind of made it chaotic because they were all over the place. So it kind of worked that you didn't really see the action fully. They're just rolling around, kicking each other in the walls and stuff. It was kind of chaotic in a way. It kind of felt a little realistic in a way. But yeah, that was kind of fun. But yeah, she tried to set up her descendant to get killed off. Didn't work out. And I like how he went after her and grabbed her shoulder, or pulled apart her cloak, and you could see she's not fully regenerated yet.
Yeah,
which was kind of badass, man.
Yeah.
And of course, they finally there was no rain this time. They burned her. That was it. That was her. Look at that face.
Damn,
look
dude.
at that face.
I know.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. And of course, it ends with the lovey-dovey. Was it me, or did the young doctor look like young Clancy Brown? I don't know. At times he reminded me of Clancy Brown a little bit for some reason. But yeah, Black Sunday, I ended up enjoying it more rewatching it after all these years. I was surprised. Oh, Radical Reggie in the house. I hope you're feeling better, brother. That's the legend right there. Y'all need to subscribe to the Radical one. That's right. And we'll get him on. I'll let Reggie. I'll let you know what we're doing next Thursday. You might want in on that one, man, because it's going to be hilarious. But yeah, overall, very solid and very enjoyable. But now let's fast forward 17 years. Suspiria, 1977. Plot synopsis: an American newcomer to a prestigious German ballet academy comes to realize that the school is a front for something sinister amid a series of grisly murders. That's right. Directed by you know who, Mr. Argento, starring Jessica Harper, who I seen in another film that I didn't think I was going to enjoy. And Thrash, you know the other movie she was in that was popular around that time, right?
I don't know, The Paradise.
Yes, I was
Phantom of the
surprised.
Paradise, yes.
I was surprised I enjoyed that movie.
It
was fun. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it's a good film.
It was all about beef, man. Beef. You guys got if you want to know what I'm talking about with beef, you gotta watch Phantom of the Paradise. But yeah, let's jump into this. So I've heard for many years how good this film is, and it's iconic and inspirational and inspires people today, and everybody hates the new movie. I have not seen it. I have not seen the new movie, the reboot. I have not seen it, but a lot of people hate it. Some people I heard liked it for what it was, but overall people were like, why touch a classic? But let's rewind a little bit. So when I first seen it, I was like, okay, let's see what all the hubbub's about. I really liked it, man. I didn't know the plot synopsis or anything. I didn't know anything. I just went in blind, and I was tripping, man, by the end, and I was like, this is a fucking coven. I was like, holy shit, this is a witch coven, man. Like what?
Mhm.
And I enjoyed the score from Goblin. That's right. Goblin did the score. Even though the la la la, that can get a little annoying sometimes, but I still enjoyed that song a lot. I like that song a lot. But if you hear that song, there's little cues earlier in the movie. When you hear witch, the main tune of the film. But I didn't even hear all that the first time I watched it. I was just kind of just taking it all in. And holy shit, just like Black Sabbath, the beginning of this movie is fucking insane, man. It is wild, man. It's the best kill. It's just overkill gore fest. So for you gore hounds out there, like Samurai Guy, I love the beginning of this movie. But yeah, just I feel like I'm going to repeat a lot of the same stuff I said with Black Sunday, but in terms of film being a visual feast, this movie is a visual feast. Yeah. It's insane. The cinematography, the lighting, everything that Argento has put together. How the fuck do you have 5 billion colors in one shot? How do you do that? I was just like, wow, but yeah, it's just a visual feast. And, I like the twist at the end. I think the twist, the big reveal, is what sells it for me. Believe it or not, don't get mad at me. I'm not saying this. I'm curious. These guys might say it. So, hey, I'm not saying it, but there's a lot of people out there that kind of think Suspiria is overrated, and that's fine. To each his own. Mm-hmm. I've heard people say this. Don't get mad at me. I'm quoting other people. I've heard people say this. It's colorful.
I ain't wrong.
Yeah, it's a colorful movie. That's all I got from it. Really.
Literally,
whatever.
Literally, not figuratively. Literally.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, let's see what's going on here. What other people have to say about the film. Hold on a second. Super chat. Thank you so much, certified badass channel member John Bonnie. Thanks again for the super chat. He goes, "What's up, all?" And Phat Samurai Guy. Just checking in to say, how about that last episode of Andor? I have not seen it, so no spoilers. Samurai Guy will get to it this week. But thank you so much, my friend, for the super chat. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna segue it more to you guys. It's weird. I really like this movie a lot, but I can't really think of that much to say about it. I felt like I had more to say about Black Sunday, which is weird. So I'm going to segue to Jeff, and I'll end it with this. It's colorful. But no, I
literally, not figuratively.
Yeah.
I am curious, Jeff. You had not seen this before?
Never. Yeah, I had not seen it before.
Oh, great! I'm gonna love hearing.
But I did enjoy this movie a lot. Like I like it a lot. Like there's a reason why I bought this on Blu-ray and then I bought it again on 4K. So I am a fan of the film. Go ahead, Jeff. Suspiria.
Yeah. Well, so I'll start off by saying, I was a little hesitant going into it. I mean, I knew I was going to watch it, but I was a little like, man, am I not going to like this? Because, the last verses we did, which was The Burning and Sleepaway Camp, I loved Sleepaway Camp. And then I watched The Burning and I was like, God, this does not feel as fun as that ride. And I was a little afraid of this because I really loved Black Sunday. And I was like, oh no, this is going to be the same thing. I'm just not going to live up to the movie I just watched. And dude, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, all right.
I gotta say, dude, I it started off and I was like, okay, this is a little weird because they had like a voiceover over the credit, and I was like, okay, why are we doing a voiceover on the credits? That's a little funky. And then, but I was like, okay, I had to rewind it a couple times to even understand what was going on there. And then we get through through the airport and that intro, man. As that was unfolding, I was like, at each escalation of it, I was like, holy shit. I was like, okay. And then when you get to the end, when it goes, I was like, oh shit. And then she falls through and then it hangs there. I was like, okay, fuck yes. I'm buckled in. Let's do it. You know what I mean? This is gonna be good, And then, but still here's what I loved about it. I kept getting surprised. I kept feeling like I knew where it was headed. And then they would do like that second kill they did was fuck. Oh no, actually, the second one was that the dog one? Was that the second kill? I can't remember. But the dog kill,
that was it.
Fucking crazy too. Because look at it pulling up I was like, oh my god, man, they're getting graphic with that. But I jumped and I jumped on the first kill too. When those eyes are all like through the window, I was like, whoa, you know. And then, oh man, so the dog one made me jump. And then I gotta say, man, that I can't remember her name. I'm sorry, I've only seen the film once. But the her friend who's kind of like helping her, death, dude. When she jumps through that fucking little window, dude, and lands in a pit of barbed wire, I was like, dude, this is nightmare fuel. Like that I haven't seen in a long time. Where it was like, like weird, obsessive compulsive nightmare fuel. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what if I swallowed a tack kind of thing? You know what I mean? Where it's like that was the level of this. Was like, oh, what if I just fall into a pit of barbed wire and you can't get out? It was like, oh my god. It was, oh man, just took my breath away. And another thing I have to say too, one of my other favorite films of all time is Eyes Wide Shut. And Eyes Wide Shut had a lot of echoes of this film too. I don't know. Probably not. Who knows what Stanley Kubrick was influenced by, but it was the kind of cult. Here's what I think is interesting. There was a parallel between the colors of the film and then the secret society, the cult, the coven kind of thing going on. Eyes Wide Shut is a very red and blue contrasted film. And I found that here too. I got to give a shout out to my girlfriend for pointing out the colors to me, because what I was harping on initially when I was talking to her about it was the music felt very Eyes Wide Shut as well at times. That kind of experimental, spooky kind of score at times. And I gotta say, that's the other thing too. I fucking loved the score. I can't tell you how much and no song ever annoyed me. It never got to a point where it was like, oh, that's getting annoying or anything like that. And then how each time one of the scores came on, you're like, oh shit, someone's about to die. Like that was the only time, but you never knew how it was going to unfold, so it would still scare me and kind of get me.
That's always the interesting thing about Goblin's music and that, because it's so overwhelming, but yet you don't get sick of it. Like it's so massive with everything that's going on, but you just don't get tired of it at all.
Absolutely. And you know what? And it not only was it creative and kind of experimental, but it was also kind of experimentally used. So it'd be kind of like overwhelming, and then she'd shut the door to a room and it'd just go suck it. Like there was no drop off. It was a very odd, unusual transition, but it worked. It kind of like kept the unnerving emotion of the film going, atmosphere of the film going. So yeah, I loved it. And then the climax was amazing. You know, I didn't know where that was going. And then you see like the outline of the body and you're like, oh shit, she's invisible and she sees it. You know, that was, oh man. Yeah. That was so satisfying. That was satisfying ending. You wanted, you know what it was too? It was for killing her friend. I felt like once her friend died, you were like, fuck these people, dude. Like her friend was a good person, you know, a sweet girl, you know, and this coven just wasted her, you know. And the only I'll wrap it up because I feel like I'm blabbing on now. But the only nitpicky thing I had about it was that there was one character. So every film that I watch of these, I feel like there's an MVP. The Black Sunday doesn't even need to be said. Like we know who the MVP is there. It's Barbara Steele. In this movie, it was weird because I was like, dude, the MVP is really Pablo's. And they didn't do enough with Pablo's. He was the guy bringing in the food that was all
with the teeth.
Yeah, with the teeth. I was like, dude,
Jaws from James Bond, you know?
yeah. It was like,
yeah.
We need more of him. You know, we need more.
That was kind of fucked up though, man. When she introduces him, she's like, you can call him ugly, it's fine. He won't. He's like, doesn't matter. He won't respond. You can call him ugly, it's fine. But he got new teeth.
And with
that's kind of fucked up.
With that setup, I thought they would do more with him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
okay, that's a fair
with them, and I was like, ooh, this is
that's
gonna be
fair.
Cool. Maybe he's gonna get obsessed with her and like
try
to, you know, make a move on, you know, shoot his shot with her at some point. You know what I mean? But that just that never happened. That was the only thing I was a little bummed on. So yeah, I think the characters, you know, in that respect could have been a little, you know, there was more to do there that he didn't do. But other than that,
good point.
Great film.
All right. Thrash.
Well, I'm going to start from the beginning because it's really important. Jessica Harper was absolutely perfect for this film because she, in any of the films you see her in, she was in the sequel to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. She was in Penance from Heaven. And she always manages to have this great sort of, I don't want to be here look. And she does this fish out of water face, which was absolutely perfect for this movie. Like, and it starts off right from the get-go. Oh, and by the way, that little opening narration in the original Italian, and I must confess, I've only seen this in the English version. Same with Black Sabbath. In the original version, that's actually Dario Argento, and he's setting the stage himself.
Okay.
It's like this is my story, and here's the setting. It was supposed to be like an almost Shakespearean staging. It didn't really work in the English version. The guy was kind of phoning it in. But it starts off, you're in the German airport. Yeah, I know. Really. She's at the German airport, and she looks at you see that very artificial red light, which you always seem to see when she's about to get in trouble. Of that neon red, that's her color, and it means, honey, be on your toes. She looks out the door, and already she knows things are going to go downhill. She goes outside, and it's not just inclement weather. It's gale force winds, thunder and lightning, driving rain. She almost gets herself killed just trying to flag a taxi. Taxi driver is one of the creepiest people in the entire movie. We're not in Kansas anymore. It sets the stage, boom, right there. And things go downhill when she gets to the school. She's going in, and our first victim is going out. I mean, there's a lot going on here, and she's only marginally connected. And I couldn't agree with you more on that first kill. I mean, I really thought, and I saw this film years ago, but I rewatched it for the purpose of this show. I really thought it was going to become another slasher film. Slasher films were actually almost experimental at this point. And not only did I didn't love the girl getting hung, but I think it was a great shot, that drop. But did you notice her friend, who is very ineffectually trying to get help from everyone?
Yeah.
She gets killed in the 3 places, the forehead, and then it's almost like some type of satanic gospel read, where because it's the head, the mouth, and the heart, like boom, boom, boom. It's like, and I'm like, gee, that couldn't have been accidental, but
it looks staged.
And it was just such a great scene. But then they shift gears again. There's a lot of shifting gears in this film, and they do that intentionally, I feel, to keep you feeling off balance, because you're supposed to be like Miss Harper. You're supposed to be very unbalanced. I don't know who did the location shots, but those interior shots are like literally something out of a German expressionist painting. I mean, it's all very, very jarring. The people are all very unnerving, from that sort of Nurse Ratched out of Boys in the Brazil, a dance instructor, the little boy, the nephew, who looks like one of the princes in the tower, the two Eastern European cooks, the females, who look like something out of a Brothers Grimm story. I mean, everyone there is really, really, really unnerving. And I can't figure out why Jessica Harper doesn't just simply go home. Oh, you have no record of me? Okay, deuces, bye. But no, she decided to stick it out. And visually, it's absolutely amazing, and I love how it unfolds. Again, the kill with the dog was just out of left field. I mean, we knew he was going to die. We just didn't know how. Having him killed by his own service animal,
roast beef.
That was amazing. So again, visually, I thought the film was absolutely amazing, and the way that they unfolded it really kind of brought you along. If I have a criticism, though, how should I put this? There were so many false flags. It kind of undermined the story for me. I mean, as you say, not only the Romanian server. I mean, that guy who looks like Keith Carradine, who is going to be her love interest. He has 2 lines, and then we virtually never see him again. Before she becomes friends with Susie, there's that rich socialite who she lives with for like 2 days, and then we never see her again. Daniel, the blind piano player, we're still never sure. I don't know. Did they have a deleted scene? Do we find out why Coven decides to turn on him?
Yeah, his dog attacked the young boy.
Outside.
But that seems staged. That seems staged too. Like they were looking for a reason to throw him out.
Oh, yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, no, I felt that too. Yeah, it felt a little. Yeah, that felt like a loose thread or something.
Did David Carradine, the Keith Carradine guy, was he in on it too?
Yes.
Okay, I had a feeling he was one of their own.
Maybe that's part of the problem, is that the piano guy wasn't part of the Coven. Like towards the end, you find out like everybody's involved. That you're like, holy shit, everybody. There was people I didn't even see in the film was in the background. I'm like, god damn.
But maybe that was it. He wasn't involved. That's why they were trying to clear the decks. One of the things I started doing, though, is...
Did you mention Olga Thrash? Olga character, right?
Olga was like her first friend, or, well, yeah, sort of, right?
Okay.
Oh, the socialite girl, the one she lives with for 2 days.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that was like, hey, give me $50. That one, right?
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, she just disappeared too, that character. Yeah, like, we didn't see her anymore.
Yeah. And we never found out why.
I thought that was going to be...
I started second guessing what the plot was. Like, at one point, I thought the twist was going to be that we found out they needed a new leader of the Coven, and it was going to be Jessica Harper. She just didn't know it yet.
I thought
it was going to be like something out of the Legacy.
Yeah, I was on her too.
That wasn't the case, but I thought it made a better ending. One thing I got to tell you though about the Romanian serving guy. He does take her lighter, and did you notice the coolest thing about that lighter? It had a clock in front of it, as in burning time. The burning time is what they refer to as the European rituals, because they burned up the witches, so it was burning time.
Look at that!
Yeah,
dropping the knowledge.
Yeah,
that's right. I love it. I love it. I have to ask you really quick before we go to Anubis, Thrash. since you watched the Itai version, did you hear actual Udo Kier's real voice?
Oh no, I heard the English dub version. Like I said, I had to confess, I've only heard the English dub version.
Oh, I thought
so. No, the one I did, Udo Kier was also dubbed.
Because how dare you dub over Udo Kier?
I had read.
Yeah, it was funny seeing him in this movie. He was so young and he looked normal. I'm not used to seeing him so young and normal. But he was just like, and this is my voice, and I am a psychiatrist. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not Udo. But no, I was curious. All right, Nubis. It's colorful, right?
Yeah,
it's colorful.
One thing I saw this like in the 90s, so I was probably about 27. I think it was like on the Sci-Fi Channel or maybe Up All Night or something. I never heard of it, but when I saw it, I fell in love with it. And I remember there was a slogan of sorts that said something like, if the first 10 minutes of this film doesn't scare you, the last 5 minutes will terrify you. And ever since then, I've been a huge fan of this film, as you guys have pointed out. Great use of colors, the soundtrack's amazing, and Thrash, you really nailed it. Jessica shines with like a sense of innocence in this film. Everything she does, you believe. Like, she just really exudes an innocent girl in this film, and that's how you need to play that character. You already mentioned the cameo by Udo, which was really nice to see. I didn't catch it till like years later. I was like, wait a minute, that's Udo. The thing about this film is it does a nice job of creating genuine tension and horror throughout it. Like I'm always on edge. Even now when I watch it, I'm always on edge. And I've seen it like 5,000 times. And I'm glad you didn't. I don't know if you had this scene, Samurai, but the last scene with her friend that comes through the door still haunts me to this day.
It's one of my favorite shots in the film.
Dude.
The horrifying thing.
It's one of my favorites.
Cackling and laughing. Oh my god.
God, that was brutal, man.
Yeah, it's brutal. The other thing that Jeff kind of pointed to was like how things kind of changed up in the film. So you talk about the girl at the beginning, like she's coming out and just as going in. There's always these flashbacks to like something she said in the middle of this rainstorm. So then when she's in the room, she's like, there's got to be another room here. So then it's like the Blue Lotus. And so there's like a little thing she's got to turn to get into a secret passage. So it's really cool that there's like these breadcrumbs of hints that she's got to follow to get to where she needs to be and unravel the whole mystery of what's going on in this place. But yeah, this movie is a masterpiece for me. I know with Argento fans, it's one of his other movies or whatever, but this one for me is like his unicorn. Like, it's just everything about it is great. Even just when I looked at it again today, the settings, like the buildings, the way they looked, and it just so perfect, like for what you want with the shots he's got and the colors and the color schemes. And I don't know how he did it, but he somehow just hit gold with this. And I'll say this, Samurai, when it comes to the remake, I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. I actually want to watch it now.
It's different.
I'm curious.
It's not a pure remake. So you have to go into it saying, okay, this is different. And it's different for a lot of reasons.
Okay.
Suspiria is part of a trilogy. So
Right.
You have Suspiria, Inferno, and then The Mother of Tears. Well, the director of the remake took all three films and brought them together. And his version, it focuses more on the dance aspect as the way for the witchcraft to work. Whereas this Suspiria, it's really kind of a backstory to everything that's going on.
Right.
So if you're going to check it out, that just go in knowing it is kind of completely different. That's why I kind of don't even consider it Suspiria. I just consider it part of that universe, but just not Suspiria remake.
Well, different's good if it's good different.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well acted. I mean,
Yeah.
Dakota Johnson. And
I enjoyed Inferno, man. Inferno's good too.
Yeah.
I did. Jeff, check out Inferno, man.
Yeah, I gotta check out Inferno for sure.
I was really shocked that Rotten Tomatoes had this at 93% for critics and 83% for audience. Like, it blew my mind when I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was quite happy with that.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, this is my. I mean, I love the beginning because it's just chaos. But yeah, this shot, Anubis, you're correct.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, this is true, real horror we're looking at.
Yeah.
This is great.
Especially since I loved the Friends so much, and then it's like, you're doing this to me. You're making her come out to kill the protagonist. You're like, come on, like all haunted and shit. It was cruel, man, but it was great.
This witch thought this head witch thought she was the shit, huh?
Yeah,
she didn't. She just. I'm gonna just sit here because I'm invisible. I'm just gonna sit here. Nothing's gonna happen to me. I'm just gonna sit here and talk shit the whole time.
Behind that door. That's behind that door.
She's just talking shit the whole time, sitting on the bed, and then she's just like, "Well, fuck it. I'm just gonna stab you right there." And then just chaos. I love how the building was falling apart. And the other witches were like getting all fucked up in the back.
Yeah,
that was great. It was fun seeing that. I was enjoying her mid-level witches, their little discussion when she was searching around and she found them all having like a little meeting, and she's just like, the American woman needs to die. It's just like, die.
Vanish her. But you know what I really like about that particular scene is when she has a slip behind the curtain and it's kind of like see-through. So it's really kind of cool. Kind of cloaks her, but the way it was shot was really awesome. I really like that effect.
Yeah, the more since you brought it up, Thrash, I'm thinking about it a lot more and more how there's the little side characters they didn't really do that much with. Especially with that scene with the whole die, she will die. You have that one scene where the little boy's like talking to Teeth.
Yeah.
And Teeth comes over there, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna tell Teeth that he sees her behind the, but no, then nothing happens, So
yeah,
maybe
I feel like it would have been cool it would have been cooler to have the piano player like trying to help the protagonist out or something, like give like a real good reason for him to die that we all see. You know what I mean? That doesn't just we have to infer through all these like contrivances and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
And of course,
you may have done that on purpose. Giving us red herrings to just throw us off our game.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
That could be it. I'm down for that for sure.
But then I would jump on your criticism though, Thrash, and say maybe too many red herrings. You know what I mean? It's like you don't get away. Maybe you get away from that, but you kind of just end up at a different criticism.
Nubis for the reboot. However you want to call the other Suspiria film. I have a question. Did the director go, there's no way we can remake the original classic? No matter how good of a movie we make, the fans are going to kill us. We're dead in the water. So let's do our own thing. Is that what happened?
Actually, from what I had read, the director hates Argento. Hates him.
Oh God!
Here's the kicker.
Okay.
He does such a nice job for 95% of that movie, and then what happens? The last 10 or 15 minutes, he fucking goes Argento, which it's the worst part of the film for me.
Wow!
I would enjoy that part of it, but I'm like, dude, you were doing so well doing your own fucking thing. Why'd you go all Argento all of a sudden? It's like, why? So that's really my biggest criticism with the new film. But the film, there's such really good acting, and it's really shot well. He did a really good job with it. So it's its own monster. It's not going to live up to Argento's version, but I give it some credit for originality.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Well, it's time to vote. And Thrash, the cool, fun thing about Versus is there's no criteria for voting. You could be a critic about it, or you could just be completely biased and be like, Barbara Steele is fucking hot. Fuck the other movie. I'm going for Barbara Steele. I mean, it could be anything. It could be any reason, your own personal reason. That's what you vote for. I will go last. Jeff, who you got? Black Sunday or Suspiria?
Yeah, man, dude, this was actually a really tough choice. I you know what, I got really crazy with it and broke down like all these different features of the film, you know, the special effects, the climax, the kills, the this, the that. I ended up after on balance, they were tied. And I tried not to look at the other side's numbers, but I was like, wow, okay. Now, of course, certain things weigh a little more than others. So it was, I don't feel like, I do think there is a winner here for me. Look, Black Sunday, I mean, she brought Barbara Steele into my life, and I love that, and also that director. I wasn't familiar with his work before this, and I gotta say, man, I loved the way the camera moved. I loved how lively and just active the film felt, especially for just being like a black and white film that, you know, from the early '60s. It felt like it could have been directed by somebody today. You know what I mean? Using the same techniques and stuff. So I really, really did love Black Sunday. You know, and like I said before, you know, look, Black Sunday felt like, it feels like home to me. There's a kind of coziness I feel with the tone of that film, even though it's a horror film. It just feels like a cozy blanket, you know. Suspiria felt kind of like I got kidnapped from my home, okay, and woke up in a fucking dungeon, okay. It was so effective with its horror elements that I was like, you know, and look, one is black and white, one is in color. I think they both do really well for what their palettes are,
right?
But I'm kind of, I'm with you, Anubis. You know, I'm a little partial to the color films. Like the black and white doesn't really scare me. You know what I mean? As effective as it can be. So now, not for just the color alone. You know, I don't really know what it is. There's just a little magic, little extra magic to Suspiria that I felt that I took away with. And so that's where my vote goes. Suspiria.
Nice. And credit to Anubis. You're on a roll, my friend. This is his picks. His suggestions for the second week of Horror Versus. So he's been on a roll. All right. So Suspiria for Jeff. Thrash, who you got?
I too found this to be a photo finish. Both films were icons of the horror genre. I love both directors. I thought the performances in both were outstanding, from the mains, Miss Harper, Miss Steele, all the way down to the supporting cast. It was just, they were both very well executed. But I'm going to cut to the chase. Because I felt that Suspiria, though visually stunning, was just missing little bits here and there, characters not being properly exploited or extrapolated on. I just felt like there was something on the cutting room floor that could have pulled the whole thing together. And as I didn't feel that about Black Sunday, I'm going to say Black Sunday narrowly edges out Suspiria.
Wow.
All right. Look at it, making it interesting. All right.
Oh, shit.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. All right. Nubis.
Well, two things. When I was talking with Samurai last week about possible matchups, do you remember when I mentioned that, you know, I gave you like a list? I said one of the possibilities would be Lords of Salem by Zombie, and you're like, let's not do that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Can you show me Joel first? Because if he goes against me, then I'm going to be pissed. So...
Are you sure? You
want
to save up the suspense for Joel?
Yeah, I want to see what he's got to say.
All right.
All right, we'll pull Joel out.
This is old Joel Valley, filmmaker, media glitch son.
Right,
this is his pick, guys. Here we go.
All right.
I'm on set, and I can't believe you guys are doing this episode, Suspiria episode, without me. Black Sunday. What is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you guys? I don't have much time.
Yeah,
but I will say this.
Are you thinking it's the supernovas that we would bounce right there?
Hey.
Oh, hi.
I bet you agree with me. What's a better movie, Black Sunday or Suspiria?
Suspiria.
That's right, Suspiria. My vote goes for Suspiria all the way. Suspiria?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
Suspiria. So they'll get all those votes say Suspiria.
Suspiria.
All those votes are for Suspiria. That's my vote, because it's the best witch movie ever made. There will never be one that's better.
Did you like the remake?
Stop it. Get out of here. Get out of here. No. Oh my God. Did we see that together? Yeah. Yes, we did. Suspiria is my vote for that. You know, it's awesome. Argento is king. That's it. That's it.
I missed it. What did he pick?
He picked the colorful one, Thrash.
Hey, I'll vote Frozen over because he and I agree. Suspiria. It's my favorite horror movie of all time.
That's your favorite of all time?
Yep, hands down.
That's awesome.
Wow. All right. Look at that.
That's awesome.
Well, it is time for the Samurai Guy to vote. And again, rewatching Black Sunday. I always want to say Black Sabbath. Rewatching Black
Good movie
Sunday.
too.
Yeah.
It is a good movie. That's Bava too, right, Nubis?
What?
Yes.
Black Sabbath.
Yes, it is Mario Bava.
Check out Black Sabbath, Jeff. It's another Bava movie.
Yeah.
It's an anthology. There's like different stories.
Yeah.
It's
in color too, Jeff. So you'll be all right.
I'm down.
Very colorful.
The band Black Sabbath took their name from that film.
Yeah.
Cool.
But after I remember liking Black Sunday, and then 5 billion years later, watching it again, I actually love Black Sunday now. But I got to be true to myself.
Reign supreme.
Sorry,
Thrash. I am happy you voted for Black Sunday. I am actually happy because I like it when things makes things interesting when people vote against the chain. Because I actually thought, even with Lindsay here and Scott and everyone, I thought it was going to be a clean sweep. To be honest, I thought it was going to be a clean sweep. So it's nice to see Thrash mix it up there.
I'm always the fly in the ointment.
No. I thought you had good reasons. I mean, they were.
Oh wait! Joel's here in the chat right now. What's up, man?
We agreed, Joel. We agreed.
I know hell is frozen over, Joel. Yes, Suspiria won, my friend.
Joel was trying to pick up extra voters around the room. You know what I mean? He didn't need them. Just in case.
He didn't need them. Thrash got thrashed.
Oh, it's all. There's no losers here. It's all good.
No, I know.
Just for fun though. Here you go. We finally agreed.
Finally.
Joel, how much money did you send Anubis? What's going on?
Yeah, right.
What's going on here? But yeah, just as tradition, as is tradition, I always show what the public votes. First up, our certified badass channel members. We had 5 votes from them, so I love to give them some shine. So out of the 5 votes, they lean towards Suspiria also. So shout out to the channel members. You guys fucking rock. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. And for the public, we have about like 96 votes, and they still swung towards Suspiria. So Thrash, if we ever have a tie here on Versus, we usually go to the public to break the tie.
Yeah.
Which Mr. Tony of the Dead hates with a passion. It always makes me laugh. Tony's like, fuck the public. So it's so hilarious. It's so funny. It's so funny. But we'll have those guys on next week. So but yeah, great panel tonight. Joe. Smart channel members.
Me included. Thank you.
Yes. And yeah, so this was a great, awesome Versus tonight. Thanks all you badasses for watching. That's right. Keep watching horror movies. That's right. Represent the genre, son. Keep it alive. That's right. It's one of the greatest movie genres of all time. That's right, baby. And don't forget, in the description box below, subscribe to Nubis. Subscribe to Thrash Pondo. Follow Jeff and Darren, the Gear Brothers, the Retaliator, son. That's right. Keep an eye out for the digital release. Buy it. Share it, son. That's right. And if you're new here, hey, subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. I appreciate that. And like and share all that good stuff. If you enjoyed the content, that's right. We appreciate you guys watching. All right. Let's see if there's anything. Thrash, you got anything coming up?
Yes, I have a next Thursday. I have around the same time. I have a podcast with BK on the air. Pat McCormick and Dave Sumster are joining me, and we're going to be having a show on the milestones of retro memories. I also, on the 22nd of October, at I believe 1 Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be joining the Unapologetic Geek on his live showing in his public domain theater. He's going to be showing Night of the Living Dead, and it's going to be a watch along, and it's going to be so much fun. And I'll be guesting for that as well.
Nice. Awesome. I'm sure everybody watching now is going to check that out as well. Nubis, anything coming up on the channel?
If you need to find any of my podcasts with Neko, she's not here right now, but we do it every Wednesday for audio, and then we try to do stuff for our YouTube channel as well. Next Thursday, which I won't be here for the verses that we're doing then, but trying to get with Lone Wolf Ronin, and we're going to do a new segment that's called Lone Wolf with Dub, where we review martial arts movies.
Nice.
So the first one up for next week is Seven Grandmasters. So,
that's a good one.
Yeah. So outside of that, not much else going on.
All right. And Jeff, hey, what's going on in the Gear Brothers universe?
Yeah, so we are going digital very soon on VOD. So please, look out for that and check out the film if you haven't seen it yet or you want to see it again.
Oh yeah. It's a must. It's a must. And since he's still here, Joel, he says that's his film project. Watch Deer Camp 86 when it comes out. I watched the trailer and it's right up my alley, man. Right up my alley. I'm excited for this. And he says down here, Anubis reviewed his movie on his channel. That's right. Joel's other movie, Beautiful Prison. That's right. Tons of badasses here on the channel. That's right. Filmmakers, writers. That's right. Martial artists. Well, I'm kind of old right now. I can't do no sidekick anymore. I can do low kick. That's Samurai Guys. I kick in the leg. I kick in the shin. Sweet shin music.
I still wouldn't mess with you, Samurai. Whether you can do a sidekick or not. So,
well, it's always a blast to have you guys here. Thrash, we'll get you on some future ones. Of course.
This is a blast. I'm definitely coming back.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you had a good time.
In your life.
Always so much fun.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Share this video. Keep watching horror. Let's see. Saturday night, me and Lady Fatblood are going to be talking about Werewolf by Night and Hellraiser, and possibly another third horror film that came out recently. We're going to see if we could try to see it that Friday. And if we could see it Friday, then there'll be 3 movies we'll be talking about Saturday. So, all right, guys, we'll see you Saturday. What's up?
So please say it's Smile.
No, it's not Smile. All right, guys, thanks for watching. You guys don't go anywhere, but I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys.